My name's Courtney Proctor, and I am currently taking the autism class through Morningside, and I'm going to show today my schedule that I have made for a student of mine. The schedule that I have chosen is a visual schedule. Just actually last year I was trained on a program called Teach, and I know in our chapter that we were to read for class, it talks about the Teach program. The Teach program is an awesome program that was developed to kind of target towards children that are under the autism spectrum. It allows to use lots and lots of visuals to help children gain their independence. By using visuals, that also helps eliminate the verbals, which is great for students because then they get caught on the last thing that you say to them rather than looking at that picture and knowing what that means, where they need to go, or what they need to do. So I'm just going to kind of explain what I have chosen for my student and kind of walk through the process. This particular student that I chose, he is a third grader that is nonverbal, that has cerebral palsy. He has a little bit of a hard time with his fine motor of grabbing small things. So this is kind of what I based it on to make sure that I made a schedule that was appropriate and he would be able to be successful with. This particular schedule, I used Boardmaker, which is a great program that has a template that we can make pictures. So what I have done is I've gone through this particular student's day and broken it up into small pieces. As you can see, I also have a folder that has a ton of different pictures from guidance and PE to even washing hands and bathrooming, special activities. Those are all pictures that we have. Then I have put them in order of how they're going to fall throughout this particular student's day. The great thing is that it's visual. He can see pictures of what is coming up, and he can kind of see his day kind of dwindle away, so he can know that the end is in sight. Something else that I have implemented is you can continuously tell your student that it's time to go check the schedule, but that's kind of defeating the whole purpose of the Teach program. So what I have implemented is just a basic little picture. Because this student is nonverbal, he isn't able to talk and communicate what he doesn't understand, but he also can't read. So at the top of the schedules all throughout the building for this particular student, I have his name written so staff members can understand whose that is, but I also have a picture. So this student can see a picture of a skateboard because he likes skateboards, and he knows that on all of the things that are for him, it has a skateboard on it. That allows him to be able to know that that is his. I've also color-coded everything that is this student's is yellow throughout the whole building. When it is time to transition from activity to activity, this student is given a card from his para that works with him, or myself, or the teacher, or whoever happens to be with him. They give him the card, and he knows that that's the cue to get up and go and check his schedule. When he checks his schedule, he knows he's going to put this in the little pocket that's right by his schedule, and he'll grab the next thing. The next thing on his schedule this time happens to be work, so he'll go to his work spot. When he walks to his work spot, there's going to be a card that looks very similar to this. This one is the library one, but just for this purpose, he would walk over and he would pair it with the picture. The picture would match, and then he would know it's time to work. When his work is done, the para would hand him again another check schedule, and he'd walk over and check his schedule. This is a pretty awesome program. It takes some time to get the students to kind of get used to the transitioning, but our ultimate goal using the Teach program is for them to be able to move without depending on the adults around them, because we want them to try to be as independent as possible. This is something that will help them within the school setting, but also help them throughout life in general. Because this student has a little bit harder time with his fine motor, the pictures are a little bit bigger, so that means that not as many pictures can fit on the schedule, so they're kind of overlapped, so he'll rip them off. It can be adjusted for many different students. You can make it big, you can make it small. What I am going to talk about next is this schedule is pretty stationary. You can't really move it. It stays within the classroom. But what allows him to move around are these pictures. And the transitioning is that I have gone throughout the whole entire building and I have put these particular pictures, cards, throughout the whole school. There's one in the lunchroom, there's one in the bathroom, there's one by the sink, there's one in all the specials, there's one in any classroom that he might have to go into, and it's always the same picture. So if he knew that it was the library, he would have to match it to the library. If it was gym, it would be a picture of the gym so he can match, so he knows that that's where he needs to be and that's where he needs to go with his classmates. Paras behind them, the student just need to grab off the pictures. We have made this, which seems to be really nice to kind of keep them organized. It's a folder just with Velcro on it that the students take the pieces. When the students are done with the pieces, the para puts the pieces back in here so they don't get lost. The check schedule cards, if the student happens to throw a fit or be defiant and not want to go check his schedule, it's very, very important for the paras to understand that to eliminate the verbal. You're not going to talk, you're just going to continue to hand them the check schedules to them, because the verbal kind of fuels the fire per se, so you're going to continue to hand. Some of our associates have 10 to 20 of these in their pocket at any time, and we continuously hand them. So this is a schedule that I have come up with for this student. It seemed to really, really work. He has gained a lot of independence in his ability to transition with his peers and not rely on the para that is with him all day, every day. So that's my schedule. That is based off the TEACH program.